Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Sinan, for putting on this great event. I actually have a pretty diverse background. I've been in the startup world, so I definitely know what this is like. But I took my talent over to Eide Bailly, which is probably the largest accounting firm you've never heard of before. So that's why I'm here. So Eide Bailly, just a quick background, it's been around for 106 years, originally started back in North Dakota of all places, and then finally took their Midwestern culture to California in 2019. Today, Eide Bailly is about a 3,000 person firm. We spread around 15 states and 40 offices around the states. And then in California, we have 12 offices, 8 of them in Southern California. The reason they brought me on board is kind of the growth in Orange County, in the surrounding areas, and kind of helping in that area. Our bread and butter, I would say tax and audit, is a client that's somewhere between 20 million and $1 billion privately held. And then on the advisory side, which I spend most of my time in, which is outsourced accounting, it's tech consulting, cybersecurity, transactional advisory. Our clients range from a couple million to $1 billion plus, both private as well as public. My role at the firm is a business matchmaker. I'm not a CPA or an accountant, but what I do on a daily basis is looking for challenges that companies are facing and looking for introductions I can make to those services to kind of solve those challenges. When we look, down. When we look at the kind of investor world, we're looking at kind of 3 stages. It's acquire, evolve, and exit. You probably can't read it, because I thought the screen was going to be a little bigger. But the key thing on the acquire part is due diligence. And due diligence, normally people think of it more of a financial aspect, which is definitely one piece of it. But that goes deeper into technology, cyber. It also goes into the taxation side of it, and making sure there's nothing left over that will kill you a couple years down the road. But yeah, that's a key aspect of that. The next phase we go into is evolve, which is pretty much where we spend most of the time with our clients. And that is kind of taking your accounting to the next level, making sure that the professionalism is in there. We can also look at business optimizations. We can look at your supply chain, technology advancement, making sure that you have the data analytics that's needed to kind of build your company over the next couple of years. And then the last stage is exit. And I would say, hopefully we're with the company ready, but I'd say 3 to 5 years before an exit is where we definitely want to be involved, because the planning takes a lot of time, especially if you want to make sure that you have some money left over after you pay your taxes. So we kind of get in to make sure that the structure is right, but we also look at how can we optimize the value of the company towards the exit. Then once we get to the point of the exit, we will do our sell side due diligence to make sure that everything is kind of all I's are crossed and T's, because you want to make sure that when the buyer comes in, there's nothing they can negotiate the price down. It will basically stay at the price that you want to. And then the last piece, which a lot of people forget about, is what's the life after the exit. Because a lot of them forget, what they want to do afterwards, what's going to happen, what they're going to do with their money and everything else in between. And then the last thing I want to highlight is a new service we just kind of got involved in about a year ago. So a lot of these smaller companies are on QuickBooks Online or some other smaller accounting software. And taking that leap into a really professional ERP system is quite the task from a financial, but also from a roadmap and just getting your team there. So you've probably heard of NetSuite before. It's one of the biggest ERP solutions. So instead of dealing with all those, pain points, we kind of made it very simple. We host the license of NetSuite and give the client 2 seats on the license. So that way we can discount the license by 70, 80%. So there's a financial investment part that kind of makes sense. Then we can implement it between 5 to 8 weeks versus 6, 9, 12 months with a lot of headaches. And then the last piece that always comes into is, can my team actually handle this? Do they have the expertise to run it? So we actually package it with our outsourced accounting team. So we come in as a package deal. It's kind of like a monthly reoccurring cost that starts about 15,000 a month and goes up from there, where you get the full package deal. You get an outsourced accounting team, fraction controller, and a NetSuite ERP in one package. As I said, I'm a business matchmaker. I'm always happy to make an introduction. Matt's been a good friend for a long time. So if we can help in any way inside of Eide Bailly, but also through our network, please reach out. Thanks so much.